preferably in a residential area. The following thoughts on Happy Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. The 2015 recipient of the Best Local Podcast by the Creative Loafing of Tampa. You are tuned in to Happy Hour, syndicated on IRN and heard around the world on the Happy Radio app. From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
Yo, what's up? This is Happy Hour. I'm back, baby! I'm back! And better than ever! I will be breaking down Calta Cruise and much more. But first, I gotta give you the contact info so you know how to chat with me. Oh boy, did I say that with a Midwest accent, the way I say my A's. Chat. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. And I will be sure to take your calls when I say all phone lines are open, because I don't have a phone screener. It's very hard with my ADHD to take calls and talk and read the news. So when I say all phone lines are open, call me at 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. And for the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I'm going to want my rants to broaden your horizon. And afterwards, you will then be left satisfied. Sort of like after a great orgasm, you smoke a cigarette and you're like, I enjoyed my Happy Hour. Tweet at me, @RyanHappyRadio, and get the Happy Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Happy Radio, HOPPE Radio, and there you can listen to me anywhere in the world. All right, let's get into this. First of all, shout out to Drew Garabo for winning Best Local Podcast here in Tampa Bay. People were saying, are you mad since he doesn't do many podcasts? No, because the podcasts that he did do were radio gold. And I am so proud to be working at the Bone, where we literally swept the board at the Creative Loafing Awards. So it's an honor to be working here. But let's get into this. I said I wasn't going to use social media during the cruise because I wanted to appreciate the moment. And I would say if my time there, based off of social media, if I were to grade myself, I would probably give myself a B-. Because when you get off at the Virgin Islands, like at St. Thomas or Puerto Rico, you have internet. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't check Facebook, but I would just check to see if anybody messaged me and if any listeners gave me a friend request, but then I would log off and not look at my notifications. But here's when you know that you are an addict of social media, because you're taking pictures, like a selfie with Bert Kreischer, or a selfie with Mike Calta, or a nice view from Calta's balcony in his room, viewing Puerto Rico, and you go, gee, I wonder how many likes I'm going to get. That's when you know you might be an addict of social media. So that happened to me. But, oh my God, it was the most freeing thing not to have to worry about how many views your Snapchat got, or if you're going to get likes, or how many views. Oh my God. And I've been using the same tradition coming back from the trip. I uploaded the pictures, but I haven't checked Facebook or Twitter, and it's been the greatest thing, because it's not real life. I opened up Twitter, and I had mean tweets, and you know what? I logged off and took a nap and then went on Pornhub when I woke up. A great afternoon, and now I'm here. It is the most amazing thing not to care. I'm going to be using it to promote, let's say, my show, or if I'm working a gig in the promotions team for the Bone. But it's so amazing to relax and to appreciate the moment. This trip, and I'll break it down, but this Calta cruise trip literally relaxed me. I was a nervous wreck. I was letting the idea of me winning the award again get to my head. And I've been kind of, I wouldn't say underperforming at work, but I let social media get to my head. And I now am in go mode. I was talking to my guy, Matt from Hornblast, and he was telling me that you need to give it your 100 every single time. And that is my plan. I am in go mode, and I am not letting social media get in my way. Swear to God, this trip literally changed me. The thing that was so flattering about this trip was I was worried about the money factor. Because, you know, working in radio, when you begin, you don't make a lot of money. And I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to have the best time. But shout out to Mike Calta, P. Larios, Burr Kreischer, Ralphie May, and everybody. John Calta, Matt from Hornblast, everybody that was at our table. Spanish, Joey from Cowhead TV, everybody who helped make this the best vacation ever and who helped give me to go on some excursions where you visit the St. Martin Beach or the beach in Grand Turk rather. I mean, I really am honored that people had my back and made this the best vacation for me possible. And the one thing that's funny too is I'm not ripping into my dad because I miss my dad every single second that I'm alive. But he didn't really teach me anything growing up, because I was such an antsy kid, and I was such a kid that would be hyper and not take things seriously, that I didn't really learn the most things about life. Like, I don't know how to change a tire. I kind of have proper form, or I do when I eat. And I just learned how to do laundry when I moved to Cleveland going on 2 years ago. So my point is, during the whole trip, Bert Kreischer, Pete, Calta, Matt, they all were teaching me how to pour wine and how to put a napkin on my lap. I mean, it seems like simple things, but it was very flattering to have people I look up to show me how to do things. It's very flattering when guys are looking out for you, trying to help you out. And I love my dad more than anything, but he kind of gave up on the fact that I was an antsy kid that couldn't focus. So I feel like my whole life I've been into radio, and I've always kind of looked up to guys that are cool and that I find cool because I was looking for a male role model. So it was an honor to hang out with them and for them to take me under their wing for a week. Also, we got off at St. Martin, one of the excursions. And out of all the places I went to, out of the 3 out of 4 times that I got off the boat, we went to Puerto Rico, went to Grand Turk, and we went to St. Thomas, not St. Martin. We went to St. Thomas. And St. Thomas is a bizarre place because when you go to Puerto Rico and you go to Grand Turk, it seems more like a foreign country. Like, there's a lot of foreign shops. They have their McDonald's and their Hooters, but it seems like more of a foreign area. Like Puerto Rico was kind of like a foreign San Francisco because it has they have the mountains that lead to high roads. It was a very hip area. But St. Thomas was weird in the fact that it's kind of like in the movie Idiocracy when Luke Wilson's tomb crashes into Dax Shepard's apartment and Dax throws him out of the back when he's going over the trash. And then they have that music when he's looking around and he has no idea what's going on in the world. That's kind of like how it was for me in St. Thomas because it's very odd. They have all the chains. They have all the McDonald's, they have Hooters, and they have cell phone shops. It looked like America. But the thing is, they drive on the wrong side of the road, which it seems like, but it's the right side for them. And then it was a very dirty area, and it's weird to think that we bitch about traffic and simple problems, but people over there have legit issues. But we did have one thing happen to us. I was on the taxi cab. It was a taxi bus, rather. And I was with Joey from Cowhead TV, P. Larios, Mike Calta, John Calta, basically the crew. And we're going to the beach in St. Thomas. So you get off the boat, you go down the path, and then there's the area where all the buses pick you up. And we almost went on the green bus that looked like it was made in the year 2000. But then we go on this bus that looked kind of older, and it had this bad crap crazy driver. And we're getting on. And the guy goes, keep on getting on. Let's squish. Let's get as many people as possible. I'm not going to even try and do his accent, but he's like squishing everybody on. And immediately when you're driving up the hill, because there was a lot of mountains and it was very hilly in St. Thomas, it seemed frightening because we were definitely over capacity when it came to how many people should be on this taxi bus. It was so funny. I knew something was going to happen with this car ride because we're going up the hill. He's going through red lights. He almost got into 2 or 3 crashes, this bad crap crazy Jamaican taxi driver. He made the taxi driver that I was on when I went to New York City back in February, he made that driver seem like driver of the year. He made a New York taxi seem normal. Because he goes down a busy hill. He's climbing up a hill, down a do not enter one-way street. So all the cars had to park because this crazy taxi moron is going up the hill. And then he turns a right and almost hits this teenager in St. Thomas on her phone, or a young adult. So that was frightening. So we're going up the hill, and we're like, why are we going up the hill? The beach is over there. And the guy's like, I thought you would want to look over the mountains, man. And we're like, no, we want to go to the beach. So we're kind of in this, how do I describe it? This sort of area, it didn't have any sidewalks. And you're going up the hill, and there's mansions that have the worst security because they have a front gate, but there's no fence along the side. So it's not like a criminal could just walk around the gate. But we're going up this area, and all of a sudden I can feel the car going slower and going slower. And then he goes, all right, I'm going to make a reverse and then turn around. He makes the reverse, and the car gets all smoky and dies. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life because I was around successful people that would obviously all help us get back to the cruise ship. If I was by myself, I'd be absolutely afraid because cars were zooming by. But to be around people that were successful and obviously smarter and have seen the world longer than me, I felt safe. But it was the greatest moment ever because everybody's freaking out. And the guy's just like, And he gets out of the taxi bus. And the car almost goes into reverse more because he didn't put it into park. So then he's going to grab a rock to try and prevent it from going in reverse. And we're like, go on the bus and just put it in park. So that's what we did. And we were there for about 30 minutes. Nothing crazy happened. If you want to see the video, it's on my Gram account and it's on my Twitter account. Both usernames are at Ryan Hoppe Radio. But that was one of the greatest moments ever because the guy was freaking out. The video's funny too because you get to see the guy panicking back and forth. And there were people that were like, oh my God, I'm going to complain. Oh my God, how could this happen? You're in a foreign country and you have a weird, crazy driver driving you. Of course this is going to happen. So that was weird too. But basically, nothing crazy happened. I took pictures for the Bone. We had great events. Ralphie May and Bert Kreischer absolutely were awesome to hang out with. Bert Kreischer was just joke after joke after joke after joke whenever I was hanging out with him. And Ralphie May is a really good dude. And they absolutely crushed it on the last night when they did comedy in front of all the badass Bone listeners that came to Calta Cruise number 10. It was just the moment I needed. It was a week I needed to relax because every night I would be out late drinking with everybody at the casino. And then before I would go to bed, it would be like in the movie Titanic when Leonardo DiCaprio and the girl would look over the water. I would just look at the water and look at the sky where there's no lights whatsoever. And you look at the blue water and you just go, This life is awesome. Everybody needs to go on a cruise in their lifetime. Maybe just once, but to see the water and to see natural blue, navy blue, clear water with white waves, it makes St. Pete Beach look like a dump. And St. Pete Beach isn't a dump, but that's how beautiful the water was. So I recommend that everybody needs to go on a cruise in their lifetime. If you're afraid of water, shut up. You need to go on a cruise anyway. All right, call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. Like I said before I went on vacation, I'm looking for unsigned artists, rap, rock, maybe country, EDM. If you want to have your unsigned music played on Hoppe Hour, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. That is ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to this riveting show.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Let's go, bro.
Playing, boy.
I missed you too, Lydia.
Yeah. Rap don't work. Back to the project. With the baking soda slaving over that powder. I still gotta make quota, so now I'm back to doing what I was doing before I even knew how to rap. What was that? Follow you round, find out where you hide it at. Okay, tell you off, turn around, make you bad. That's right. Matter of fact, tell whoever you plug with, tell them try to tax me, I get on some stick up shit. I say it's a goal, run in your crib, lay you on the floor, put the pole in your wheel, like you know what this is, homie, open that safe. You either lower that quick or catch a hole in your face. See around the way.
I'll be back in like 3 minutes, so hang on.
All types of grimy licks, nigga, you name it. South business, gotta get it, pimpin', I'm about money. That's what'll happen if this rapping shit don't work out for you. Rap don't work, it's back to the block. I'm in the kitchen, nigga, cooking up rocks. We make it pop, pop. I'm good with the pop. Now what it do? We ready to rock. I keep my faith on my mind. Stay on the grind. You never catch a hustler struggling, that's out of line. I'm steady flipping zippers, you flipping dimes. And I bet you ain't with a chopper, ain't precise it in mine. Still cop and squeeze, I ain't gon' talk about it. I treat this money like the papa, never leave without it here. If you got it, and I'm feeling like I want it bad, I stick his ass up fast for that little cash. Give it up. You want it done right, better do it yourself. The more mix you hit it with, the quicker it melt. I'm in the telly with some baggies in the digital. County in the back, mixing up the chemicals. Yeah, if raps don't work and niggas still gotta eat. You wanna be big Ruger, keep a lot of heat. Yeah, keeping my baby mama, keep it in the baby seat. Show money, blow money every other week. Rap don't work, it's back to the block. I'm in the kitchen, nigga, cooking up rocks. We make it pop, pop. I'm good with the pop. Now what it do? We ready to rock, rock. If rap don't work, I ain't finna trip. I'ma take it to the block and chop another zip. Fat rat sitting back watching Dro tip. $100 bills busting out the money clips. Another hit, check the spins on the BDS. I'm a star and they ain't seen me on the TV yet. And if it's wet, I'ma make it flip. Rap don't work, it's back out of town taking trips.
Hey, Mooney, I see you got your buzz up, but if rapping don't work for you, what you gonna do?
Back to the block, baby.
There you have it.
It's back to the block. I'm in the kitchen, nigga, cooking up rocks. We make it pop, pop. Call Hoppe, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773.
right, welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Shout out to one of my diehard listeners, Lydia, out of San Antonio, Texas, or Victoria, Texas, I believe, who said she missed me. I missed you too. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, HOPPE Radio. All right. So last week, I was completely out of the loop. I was completely out of the news because I would have internet on the cruise if I was in St. Thomas or if I was in Puerto Rico. Besides then, I was never on the internet. I never used the Wi-Fi. I saw the news about Jose Fernandez dying, and I thought that was really, really sad. I don't know why he was in the water. I think he sort of caused his own death, but that was sad. It was sad that Arnold Palmer died, but he lived a very full life, so that happened too. But what I want to talk about is, I was watching the news last night when I was laying in bed on the last night of the cruise, because I had to get up in the morning, so I didn't want to drink again. So I was laying in bed, and I chose to watch CNN, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Dom Lemon. I chose to watch him over Squid Billies on Adult Swim, just because I wanted to be informed on the news. And I see a headline that says, Howard Show is involved now in the presidential election. So I'm thinking it's something current. I'm thinking something happened where maybe Trump selected him to be on his cabinet or something. I thought it was something important, something out of this world. Because we all know that for the last 20 years, him and Howard at least are acquaintances. They're both high-profile figures in their own way, in their own manner. So I find it very, very weird that the liberal media, and listen, I don't want anybody thinking that I like Trump or that I want him to be president. Frankly, him and Clinton both make me want to vomit, and they make me want to jump off a ship. I despise both of those dirtbags. But here's my thing. Everybody is freaking out, and I will read the article, over what Trump has said on his show, or on Howard's show rather, over the years, all these shocking things he has said. And they are trying to throw him under the bus. Even though Clinton, if you look up a video on YouTube, you can see a 10-minute video of when she claims she supported one thing, and then there's a video where she says the opposite. They're both lying, creepy pieces of dirt. Quit trying to throw Trump under the bus like Clinton's crap doesn't smell and she's some angel. I'm not going to sit here and say I know that much about politics, but trust me when I say I don't think Trump meant the weird things that he said on Howard's show. Now, the fact that he changed his mind on the Iraq war, that's kind of a big deal. But him saying these things about women, of course he was going to say that in the 90s when the FCC really didn't have the control of the king of all media, the quote-unquote shock jock known as Howard Stern. Of course Trump was going to say these outlandish, out-of-control things. The point of radio and the point of media back then, before we were so uptight over words, was to shock people. You weren't able to watch porn on your phone. You weren't able to get things on demand. So when you would listen to shock jocks, that was your way to get your edgy fix of entertainment. I don't like Trump at all, but I kind of feel like he said a lot of these things to impress Howard and to be funny. I'm sure he's sexist. I'm sure he's not the best guy. I'm sure he's a weird narcissist. But trust me when I say Clinton's a narcissist too, and everybody's freaking out over what Trump said. Trust me. I'm a man of my words. He isn't the only weird, sexist president. I'm sure Barack Obama says weird things behind closed doors, but he's just PC in public. Clinton got a nice BJ in the White House, but whatever, he's our hero. Reagan probably thought these things. Every guy thinks a lot of things about sex. Now, the things that Trump said on Howard's show over the years are very extreme. They're kind of odd. But I just kind of get the vibe in my mind that he was saying it to entertain people and to be outlandish. I see this from People magazine here. Here's what it says. Donald Trump told Howard Stern he thought Paris Hilton was beautiful when she was 12 years old. Now, that's kind of weird. It seems like he has this weird, intimate side of him. Because he went on The View or a show years ago and said that his young daughter was beautiful. He definitely is a weird guy. I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think he has weird needs. I don't think he's a creep. I just think he has a weird, intimate side of him. And he's just kind of an odd character. But okay. He said this years ago. What's the point? Is that going to prevent him from potentially being a great president or a horrible president? I'm not sitting here saying that I'm predicting that Trump will be a good president or not if he's elected, which I think he will be. But is the fact that he said these wild things on a legendary shock jock radio show, are those words going to affect foreign policy? Like if he's in a meeting, is this going to have to be brought up? Or if there's another school shooting, the fact that he said this, is that going to affect the way he runs things? No, because words don't hurt. And at the end of the day, most of the time, words don't matter. This is the uptight, liberal side of the media. And even though I lean left for gay rights and female rights, trust me when I say this is the liberal media trying to throw him under the bus because they are scumbags and they are unoriginal and they are trying to find ways to fill their 24-hour lame debate shows, the news cycle. So they're going, oh, Trump said wild things on an entertainment show. Let's talk about that. Effing ridiculous. Absolutely sickening that the media is freaking out over this. Right, it says here. More of Donald Trump's controversial past remarks about women continue to surface. That's the thing, too. That's what I don't get. It's not like he said this on some obscure morning show out of Boise, Idaho when he did a phoner in 1997. You can basically get every Howard Stern show ever if you go on YouTube or you get a torrent or they even play it. On the weekend, they play the best of Howard over the years. These tapes have been around since they originally aired. I don't know why we're trying to throw him under the bus over what he said on a shock jock shows when he's been running for president for the last year and a half. I don't know why this wasn't brought up during the Republican National Convention or during the debates he had with all the other candidates. I just find it kind of weird that we're talking about it now. In 2003, on Howard's show, the now GOP nominee spoke about how he found women attractive. At one point, he mentioned his daughter Ivanka's friend, Paris Hilton. Here's what he said. And of course, it says here, this was republished by the Huffington Post, the most pathetic news source, home of hating on Trump, and home of the latest selfie of Kim Kardashian. So of course those out-of-touch imbeciles would talk about this, because there's not like more important news at times. You got to have an even balance. It says here, here's the quote. Somebody who a lot of people don't give credit to is actually really beautiful, and that is Paris Hilton. I've known Paris since the time she was 12. Howard then said that she was hot. Trump mentioned when he first met her as a preteen. The first time I walked in, he says, I said, who the hell is that? Howard then says, do you want to bang her? Trump says, well, at 12, I wasn't into it. I've never been into that, but she was beautiful. Now, it's weird. It's odd. But at that point, he wasn't into it because he's not into underage girls. If he said she was hot or a hot piece of ass or a babe, saying that about a 12-year-old, then it makes sense. Then I get it. I truly do. Then he would have been like, well, I had to wait 6 years to potentially get a BJ from her. Then it would be weird. But Howard's the one that brought it up, and of course you're going to want to be entertaining on the show. Oh my God. Clinton's done so much shady crap over the years, and I get that they're both scumbags. But we're talking about what he said on a talk show? God, is the media so lazy and pathetic. God damn it. He continued to talk about Clinton, or about Hilton, it says rather, after saying he was friends with her parents, and commented on her IQ. She's dumb like a fox. Okay? Trump is a maniac and a liar. Clinton is a maniac and a liar. But that is one of the smartest things he's ever said. That is one of the most honest things he's ever said. She is dumb. She's famous because her dad owns the Hilton brand. She's famous because she had the sex tape one night in Paris. Get it? Because you have one night in Paris, but it was actually intercourse. She's famous for her crappy show she had 10 years ago on Fox. She's famous because she made an awful, awful techno song about 6 years ago that Howard legendarily ripped into. She is dumb. I've never heard her say a smart thing. When I think of a smart person, I think of world leaders, or I think of people that actually sort of contribute to this world. But I never think of Paris Hilton and go, oh my God, is she smart? I just typed in Paris Hilton quotes on Google. Here's some of the riveting things she has said. The way I see it, every day you should live it like your birthday. Wow. We should make a meme of that, but it's so inspirational. The only rule is don't be boring and dress cute wherever you go. Life is too short to blend in. Even though you couldn't blend in because you're a rich person, so you don't get what it's like to be poor. Whatever. Every woman should have 4 pet animals in their life. A mink in her closet, a jaguar in her garage, a tiger in her bed, and a jackass who pays for everything. She's a moron. Trump was right when he said that this girl is dumb. Huh? That's what we're freaking out about? No matter what a woman looks like, if she's confident, she's sexy, which I agree with. Some girls are just born with glitter in their veins. Some girls are born with glitter in their veins, and she was born with an IQ and a brain the size of a grape. Let's just be honest here. This is another great quote, because she's so smart, People magazine. Walmart. Do they make walls in there? So she thought when you go to Walmart, it's to buy walls. I don't know if that's a joke, but knowing Paris Hilton, I wouldn't think that she was being a comedian or trying to joke around. I don't really think about things. I just walk. But yeah, whatever. Paris Hilton's really smart. Trump wasn't lying, or he wasn't saying the truth when he said that she was dumb. Okay. I imagine my wedding as a fairy tale. Huge, beautiful, and white. I think it's important for girls to be confident. Good point. Good point. Great point. But she goes with, believe in yourself, because everybody's hot. Ugh. I think my IQ is like 94, because we took a IQ test when I was on Rover's Morning Glory, the show out of Cleveland. I swear to God, after reading those quotes, I think my IQ probably is down to 86, because I read 9 quotes, and I feel like every single time I read a quote, it went down a point. Maybe even 2. Maybe if I keep thinking about Paris Hilton, I won't be able to put the key in the ignition and drive home. She is dumb. Ugh. People magazine just trying to defend her because they've had her on so much. And while Trump, it says here, called Miss Universe Alicia Machado disgusting after accusing her of having a sex tape earlier this week, he didn't feel the same way about Hilton's leaked tape. Here's what he said. I have seen it. My wife showed it to me. I think it's pretty unfortunate, and it made Paris Hilton hotter in terms of the world, because the world is so screwed up, but I think it made Paris even better. What do you want? Okay? Trump's a weird guy. Okay, so what if he ripped into a girl having a sex tape and another one not having a sex tape? Or he basically was cool with one having a sex tape rather, and the other one, it's not cool for her to have it. Here's my thing that I'm going to end with before I go to break. If this was some world where this is the first time we've had two famous people running for president that lie, like let's say all previous elections, they've been absolutely honest with us, and this is the first time in 2016 that we have people lying to us like Trump and Clinton, then that would get the outrage. But every president ever is nothing more than a lying scumbag. So I don't know what you guys want from Trump. How about we look at the actual things that Clinton has lied about? And I'm not going to throw Benghazi into this, because that's just the easy route to hate on Hillary. But there is a lot of dirt into that woman. She lies all the time. She said she wasn't sick, and then she has a coughing fit last week while talking. Trump is a weird guy. Trump is a creep. But so is Clinton. All right, call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppy Radio and get the Hoppy Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppy Radio. Hoppe Radio. We will be right back on Hoppy Hour.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
What up? What is happening? This is Ryan Hoppy from the award-winning Hoppy Hour podcast. And I'm here today to talk about my new sponsor, Simply Prepaid of Gulfport, which carries T-Mobile, Go Smart Mobile, Simple Mobile, and Ultra Mobile services. All of
Thank you for putting me on the
contract, so you don't have to worry about that. And they are powered by the T-Mobile network. They have an unlimited plan for any budget. So maybe you're behind on bills and you don't have a lot of money right now, but you want to have an unlimited plan. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place to go to. You can bring in your own device or take advantage of their large assortment of handsets. If you bring in your old device from another carrier, you can get a free phone with no contract if you transfer your number from the other carrier. So that is one of the most badass features about them. One of the best things about Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is they carry a full assortment of accessories for your tablet or smartphone, and they even do repairs. So maybe something is acting up with your phone and you don't know who to turn to. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place to go to, and they even have very convenient cell phone classes. So maybe you're behind on the whole smartphone phenomenon and you want to catch up. Maybe you need to know about it for your new job, or you just want to fit in with all the cool kids. Head on over to Simply Prepaid of Gulfport and they can hook you up with some good classes. If you tell them that Ryan Hoppy sent you, you can get a free gift with any repair or activation. And now you're probably wondering, how can I get in contact with such a great deal? They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South. And if you don't know where Gulfport Boulevard South is, trust me, it's not hard. When you cross 49th Street going west on the 22nd Avenue South, it becomes Gulfport Boulevard. So it's not hard to find. It's very convenient. And trust me, Patrick and everybody at Simply Prepaid of Gulfport, they're reliable, they're humble, and they are there to help you out. If you want to call them, it's not hard. It's 727-331-1934. That is 727-331-1934. I'm a man of my word. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the best in the Bay.
From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
This is how we do it.
Shut up!
This is how we do it. I love this song. On the first day of the cruise, when I was walking around taking pictures, I knew it was going to be a good cruise because on the main area where the pool was, they were having a dance party, and the DJ goes, "Let's have a great cruise." And he played This Is How We Do It. Rap music is absolutely crappy now. It's about being violent and being scumbags. We need to bring back this format. Rap music about appreciating life and just trying to have fun, you know? And let me hear the party say, this is how we do it. 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 All right. I did karaoke 8 days ago when I was on Radio Survivor on Drew Garabo Live. And oh boy, I was listening to it over. I have the worst singing voice of all time. Like, I know everybody's a bad singer when they're doing karaoke, but with my speech impediment and my Midwest twang and the accent I have, they're literally, and my dad used to say this, I literally can't carry a bucket when I'm singing. It's absolutely atrocious. But you know what? This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All right, enough. It looks weird on Hoppe TV if you're watching on Facebook. Because with my setup, it's just the webcam of me talking. So when I have the mic on, the music isn't playing out loud. So it looks like I'm having a seizure where it's 3 seconds of dead air and I go, this is how we do it. So I'm done singing that. All right. I saw this headline here. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPE. That is 856-49-HOPPE. And I saw this from the Daily Mail. And I'm not really big into psychics. I'm more into meditation and just relaxing. If you have to go to a psychic, you're not very smart, you're not very unique, you're not very likable, you're a very bland person. If you think paying $6,000 to go to a psychic is a good idea, or if you think you're going to learn something, or you think it's going to change the way you think about things, or you think that they're going to actually know what's going to happen in the future because nobody does. If you go to a psychic, I actually judge you, and I actually think you're a moron. It says here, bride calls off her $6,000 wedding just 3 weeks before her big day, after her psychic told her the marriage wasn't written in the waters. All right. She's 28 years old. She's probably thinking, this girl, Lisa Manso. She goes to a psychic. She's probably nervous about getting married. I'm just going to have sex with one more person the rest of my life. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have to deal with bills. I'm going to have to deal with life. It's not time for her to get married because I say you should not get married until you're at least 30. You need to appreciate the 20s. She must not be a very smart person. She must have a actual lower IQ than Paris Hilton. Like, Paris Hilton is actually very smart compared to her because you're getting ripped off by going to the psychic. The psychic knows when you're going in there saying, what is my marriage going to be like? Is my marriage going to work out? They're good at reading people, and she can probably see the worry in your eyes, and she can probably see that you're not sure. So she goes, I'll take one route that could be it's time to get married, or a route that your marriage isn't going to work. All they do is just guess. And wow, what a coincidence. What if her marriage did work? And the psychic said, your marriage is going to work. You have a 50-50 chance of being right. So if you go to a psychic, you're a dummy. Sorry. And if you're listening to Happy Hour and you're offended and you want to defend going to a psychic because it's so great, the phone lines are open. 856 49 Hoppy. That's 856-49 Hoppy. Please tell me why a psychic in a shopping mall right next to Publix and next to a Radio Shack knows the future, and why that psychic is different than the psychic that might be in a downtown St. Pete's shopping area, or why that psychic is different than one in a rundown part of Gary, Indiana. I'm just saying every area has the psychic areas. They have the front businesses that are in shopping malls. So do all the psychics know what they're doing? Is one psychic better than the other? How do you become a psychic? Because it's a scam, you dummies. She met her fiance as a teenager, this woman, Lisa Manso, who called off her $6,000 wedding because of a psychic, and they were reunited as adults. The mom of three couldn't figure out the woman's words, but thought it was time to break up. All right, it says here, when most people visit fortune people for guidance, they take their advice with a pinch of salt, but not Lisa Manso, who is due to get married just 3 weeks before the wedding. And it says here that she canceled it because of what the psychic said. Now listen, I know there's a 0.00001 chance that her fiance is listening to Happy Hour. I know there is no chance in the world. But dude, if you're listening, you have one life and you got off scot-free. You got off so lucky. This woman is not for you, and it would not have worked out in the long haul, because she obviously wasn't sure about getting married. And if you even have any question less than a month before the wedding, then it's not meant to be. And if she had to go to a psychic and not her own brain to be convinced not to get married because she didn't want to get married, then she's a dirty, rotten imbecile, and you deserve better. All right, here's what it says here. The model explains everything was booked. The venues, the caterers, I'd even picked out the perfect white dress. But I couldn't get the words of warning out of my mind, and I ended up having the courage to cancel it. I don't know how the word courage comes into canceling a wedding because a psychic told you to and you don't have your own opinion. The definition of courage is the chance to do something that frightens someone. Power in the face of grief. Oh, wow. You're a servant. You're a martyr because you quit a wedding because someone told you to. Wow. You're really creative. You're really unique. Shut up. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. Here's what this woman, Lisa Manso, says about the groom she was going to marry, Michael. He was a friend of the family and my first love. Like I said, she wants to be with more men. That's why. We worked together for 7 years, which is a serious amount of time for young kids. But we moved away and lost touch. So when Michael walked back into my life 8 years later at a local gathering, I took it as a sign that it was meant to be. I don't get the whole thing of meant to be. Why? It's a really small world. You just ran into him because you were back in town. That doesn't mean you're supposed to get married to him. She must have low confidence if she's trying to find reasons to marry somebody. I told Michael that it was fate, that it was supposed to mean that we were to be together. We just needed a couple of tries. When you need more than 1 or 2 tries to make a potential wedding work and a potential marriage work, it's not meant to be. Here's what she said. I was a believer in that sort of thing and often visited psychics for advice. There you go. She has no original opinion. She has no idea what she's doing in her life, so she has to pay for psychics. Talk to your parents. Talk to your friends. Meditate. Relax. Use your actual opinion and don't rely on others that are scamming you. Then I saw it the way it should be. Fate had given me a second chance, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but I decided not to. You didn't decide to. The psychic told you to, and you just kind of went along with it. Here's what she said. We were in bed when Michael told me that he wanted to be with me forever and said he wanted to marry me. I felt like I was winded. I said yes. I was so happy. I felt so lucky to have Michael again that I wanted our wedding to be a huge party. I booked a 5-room hotel, or a 5-rated hotel rather. that I went dress shopping and picked out a beautiful white gown. It seems like she's really into materials. She books a top-notch hotel to have the wedding at. She gets a great dress. And I'm not saying you shouldn't party it up at your wedding, but she spent $6,000 on the wedding that didn't happen. It just seems like she's in it more to give herself confidence because she's a boring person. Just saying. A month before the wedding, I was at a friend's house talking about seating plans when I told her I would like to have one last psychic reading as a single woman. I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. Oh my God. What is it with going to psychics with this woman? Like, do you have any original opinion? Are you going to go to a psychic to figure out if you should go to McDonald's or Burger King for your late night munchies? Are you going to go there to decide if you would rather do laundry or go grocery shopping as your errands for the day? She has no original opinion. And any guy that ends up marrying her is a moron. I'm just saying. On the day, I took off the ring and slipped it into my pocket. I didn't want to give his mom any ideas about the upcoming nuptials. And it just says that she was really nervous when she went on the sofa. Why are you so nervous? You've been to a psychic 100 times. It should be like doing 1 + 1. It should be basic ideas in your mind. You've done it so much. And it says that she dropped a bombshell and said I shouldn't get married. Wow. What an original bombshell. The psychic goes, you shouldn't get married. It wasn't like the psychic said, you're going to be married for 25 years and you will have 7 kids. And they will all be girls. And they all will have 3 hands. And they all will have birth problems. Now that would be a revelation. That would be a bombshell. But saying you shouldn't get married, wow. If that is the definition of a bombshell, then the dictionary needs to change it. Because there is nothing surprising about that. My jaw dropped. I was stunned, she said. I hadn't said a word about getting married. But she could see that I looked worried. Okay. I'm sure she heard in town that you were going to get married. And I'm sure that she could read on your face that you were nervous. So the first thing she guesses is, are you trying to get married? Psychics are an absolute scam. And if you fall for it, then you are not very smart. I will tweet out the article at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And I will let you know what I think of it as well. I will give you some more opinions. And tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Like I said, call me 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. And get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop. All right, we're going to come back and wrap everything up on Hoppe Hour. It's been a very good show. It feels good to be back. So hang on.
The hour.
What up? What is happening? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast. And I'm here today to talk about my new sponsor, Simply Prepaid of Gulfport, which carries T-Mobile, Go Smart Mobile, Simple Mobile, and Ultra Mobile services. All of their plans are no contract, so you don't have to worry about that. And they are powered by the T-Mobile network. They have an unlimited plan for any budget. So maybe you're behind on bills and you don't have a lot of money right now, but you want to have an unlimited plan. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place to go to. You can bring in your own device or take advantage of their large assortment of handsets. If you bring in your old device from another carrier, you can get a free phone with no contract if you transfer your number from the other carrier. So that is one of the most badass features about them. One of the best things about Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is they carry a full assortment of accessories for your tablet or smartphone, and they even do repairs. So maybe something is acting up with your phone and you don't know who to turn to. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place to go to. And they even have very convenient cell phone classes. So maybe you're behind on the whole smartphone phenomenon and you want to catch up. Maybe you need to know about it for your new job, or you just want to fit in with all the cool kids. Head on over to Simply Prepaid of Gulfport and they can hook you up with some good classes. If you tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you, you can get a free gift with any repair or activation. And now you're probably wondering, how can I get in contact with such a great deal? They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South. And if you don't know where Gulfport Boulevard South is, trust me, it's not hard. When you cross 49th Street going west on the 22nd Avenue South, it becomes Gulfport Boulevard. So it's not hard to find. It's very convenient. And trust me, Patrick and everybody at Simply Prepaid of Gulfport, they're reliable, they're humble, and they are there to help you out. If you want to call them, it's not hard. It's 727-331-1934. That is 727-331-1934. I'm a man of my word. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the best in the Bay.
Happy hour is about to end, but first, it's time for last call.
Ow! Ow! I just hurt myself. All right. Listen, happy hour is about to end, but I know you're down. I know you're sad, but it's been a good show. Get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There you can listen to the show anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're in Auckland, New Zealand, if you're in Cleveland where we're having record high numbers, London where we're having great numbers, or Tampa Bay. You can listen to me anywhere in the world. Go to my website, ryanhopperadio.com. Email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com if you want to have your unsigned music played on air. Also, get the Hoppe Hour decals from my guy Nicholas Seymour out of Minnesota. tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. That's tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. This show has been brought to you by Simply Prepaid of T-Mobile in Gulfport. 727-331-1934. That's 727-331-1934. If you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will give you a great deal. They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South in Gulfport, Florida. That's 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South in Gulfport, Florida. If you want to watch all 59 shows I've done for Hoppe Hour, Hoppe TV, go to tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour Live. That is tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour Live. Tomorrow, or Monday rather, it's been a blur with this cruise. Flo's Music Monday with my guy Flo Monroe will be back. And we will talk about everything going on with him. And I will recap the trip as well for him. So listen in. This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.